I'm not afraid of being told no. No does not bother me at all because for every no, it's opening doors to getting to the next yes. It's taken me 18 years to get back to Nashville to record a new project, and especially of the caliber that I was just able to do this last spring. 18 years of keeping relationships, keeping the possibility open, keeping the what if it all could go right mindset, and then go, okay, well, this is when it was supposed to happen. And I'm so grateful because without the past tools I've acquired the last 18 years, I would have screwed it up.
Welcome to GMP, the Great, Glorious, and Glamorous, aka the Going North Podcast. I'm your host, best-selling author, and certified self-leadership trainer with the John Maxwell team, Dom Brightman. And this is the podcast where authors from around the world help you realize that success is tangible. You'll leave with at least one new tip of inspiration or information or even motivation every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday. Now let's get on with the show. And today on the highlight reel builder for authors known as GMP, the Great, Glorious, and Glamorous, it's the Going North Podcast. And we got one heck of a super special, awesome human for you today because... funny enough, the original goal of the show is to be called the Mr. Music and Reads podcast, interviewing independent artists and authors. And today's guest fits both. So, first musician since Rick Lozano on the show, because my goodness, you're in for a treat that's good enough to eat 5 times over, because this wonderful guest right here has been a media executive since she's been in the womb, y'all. So for over 20 years as a media executive, TV host, recording artist, public speaker, corporate spokesperson, and business professional, she's been helping others to present and communicate a concise and professional message, whether you're on camera with network TV, being interviewed by a major news or entertainment outlet, filming a corporate video, Zoom call, podcast, social media marketing, and or in-person public speaking appearance. So let's give it up for this amazing and stupendous recording country music artist, the one and only Amy Scruggs. How you doing today, Amy?
I don't know. You just made me realize I need to just shorten that to just Amy. That's it. It's like, we'll just answer the questions. I'm just Amy, and we'll get to the rest. It's too much.
Funny enough, I did shorten it.
I know. It's okay. It's all part of the journey. Everybody has a journey.
Yeah. Well, hey.
Thanks for having me today.
Oh, thanks for showing up. My goodness. Like, thanks to Podbatch, been connecting with all these wonderful, freaking super special, awesome humans, and heck, even with your newest single. And usually country's not usually my main genre of choice, but with your inspirational message, I'm like, yeah, I love this. It's something you wake up in the morning to right here.
It crosses over. It really does. It's not country like, ouch, what am I listening to? It's got such a positive message of what if it all goes right? And I love that it's just being received by people of all genres, all ages, all backgrounds are saying, wow, we need to hear this right now. And that's really been fun to see how it's being received.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And I believe your life has really been all about music, because if I'm not mistaken, you're actually a classically trained pianist too, right?
Yeah, so I climbed up to the piano bench, apparently, according to my parents, when I was 3 years old, and just started playing piano by ear. And they said, okay, I think she wants to do music. So they took me to a piano teacher who said I was too little and my fingers were too small and made me wait till I was 5, in which case my fingers were too small, and in which case they still are too small, but I made it work. I have teeny little hands, but I could play the piano. And so I started playing piano, and I was singing very early on. By the time I was 5, 6 years old, I really knew that I could sing and had a voice. So music was very passionate, a very big part of my life, that even if you had asked me when I was little, what was I going to be when I was grown up? I always said Barbara Mandrell, or, a singer. I knew that. And I started practicing the national anthem, like with the hairbrush on the fireplace at a very young age. I made sure that I was perfecting that national anthem, that I would be ready for stadiums and ballparks by the time I was grown. And I just always visualized that. And music always has been such a huge, powerful part of my life. And even at the times when I'd have to let it go, for my corporate jobs or for whatever I was doing, it was still always there, and it always comes back. It doesn't go anywhere. And it's just a beautiful music is just beautiful, how it touches lives and reaches people. And I'm just grateful that that is a gift that I was given and able to do.
Yeah, definitely could say that again, indeed. Because, yeah, the beautiful thing about music is that it really transcends, like, just about anything and everything. Because it's like, hey, it connects. Like, you hear a great guitar solo, it's like, oh, that sounds freaking
Yeah.
good. I hear a good sound in the piano, it's freaking good. Heck, even, funny enough, you don't even have to understand what folks are saying, you still enjoy it because you can feel their energy
Just
behind the
feel it.
singing.
I mean, how many times are you in the car, you're driving down, all of a sudden something comes on and someone in the car goes, oh, turn that up, right? How in our life, and it's never turn that up because we hate it or it's going to put me in a bad mood. It's turn that up because you're about to connect with whatever it is you're hearing, whether it's the lyric, whether it's the beat, whatever it is. Music has a way of completely transcending us in a blink of an eye. And I love that.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about indeed. That's what I'm talking about indeed. So my goodness. So with you basically being a Jill of all professional media trades, with all the wonderful stuff you are doing and continuing to do, like how do you keep it all together? Is it just in phases? Like what did you ever see yourself really being, I guess, basically this, I guess, multi potentialite, marvelous human being doing all this creative stuff in media? Like, was that always in your zone of genius, or was it something you discovered like after, I guess, high school years or something?
It's interesting. I don't think that I would have ever pictured this what everything is now in its kind of full creation at this stage. I wouldn't have guessed that. I knew that I was always going to have multiple things going on. There was always the music and then my studies and then music and the kids and music and then out working and finding my voice in business and in sales in Southern California. That was a big deal in my early 30s when I stepped into wholesale banking and into sales. There was a lot that went with that, but I still had to be singing and doing music on the side. So adjusting to multiple compartments along with motherhood has always been a part of the rhythm. I think my ADHD has always come in handy and I've channeled it correctly. So it's like, well, let's just hyper focus on all these things at one time and keep the plate spinning. But I didn't dream that it would pair into a bigger media world. And I think even just technology advancing and opening doors for that, because even 15 years ago, if you had said, okay, you're going to be doing, we didn't know what a podcast was, right? You're going to be putting
Yeah.
things on YouTube and you're going to be using digital marketing. We were like, what are you talking about? So there were so many things when I first starting my career or first evolving as an adult, they didn't exist. So taking these tools and what has been brought to us and go, wait a minute, there's something we should learn from this and not kind of get left behind and just be stuck in my ways of saying, well, I do it this way and that's the way it's always going to be. I think that I keep a mindset of always wanting to adapt and also taking past experiences, past jobs, past resources and saying, ooh, that's in the tool belt now. I don't look at something as past. I just look at it as another tool that went in from all walks of life with that, whether I've been hosting TV or leading sales teams or in my coaching and then the next minute I could be at a speaking engagement and the next day I might be singing the national anthem at a stadium. It's all the same thing. It's just, oh, which one of these components and which one of these tools do I need to use today? And there's a lot of days that I use all the tools in one day. I have like 5 notebooks here at my desk that compartmentalizes things so something doesn't slip through the cracks at commitments I've made to clients that I work with and productions that I'm doing behind the scenes versus when my face needs to be on, when I'm in front of people, when I'm promoting or when I'm coaching to someone or even just being with the family. Each thing has to roll in with the others. And what's fun is that I see it as one. It's just one career. It's one life that says, why did I have to get stuck in one channel? I didn't have to just stay in sales because that's what I started in my 30s. That's where you stay. That's the career you do. And that's it. And now if I want to move on or look for another job, it better be that exact same job with another company. No, why not keep expanding and growing and trying new things? Because I'm not afraid of being told no. No does not bother me at all because for every no, it's opening doors to getting to the next yes. It's taken me 18 years to get back to Nashville to record a new project, and especially of the caliber that I was just able to do this last spring. 18 years of keeping relationships, keeping the possibility open, keeping the what if it all could go right mindset, and then go, okay, well, this is when it was supposed to happen. And I'm so grateful because without the past tools I've acquired the last 18 years, I would have screwed it up. I would have not known maybe how to find the right partners in this and how to market it correctly and how to, use the digital tools that we have, how to, meet you through Podmatch and get onto a podcasting. I wouldn't have known how to do all of that. So I'm so thankful when new doors open right when they're supposed to. And I don't worry about the ones that are taking their time. I think that is really where my mindset is. And then I can find the joy in what I'm doing. It doesn't mean I don't get stressed or I don't sometimes get overwhelmed or like, oh, bit off a little more than I can chew today. But there's always a workaround. And I find that people are gracious. If I reach out to somebody and said, hey, I've got a full plate today and I didn't realize that something would take a little bit more time. Are you okay if we bump back 24 hours? Are you okay if we shift this around? Most of the time, things can get moved and shifted and I can still accomplish. And then it takes the stress out and then you don't find me underneath this desk, crying in the corner. Right? I'm like, well, we did that today. It's fantastic. That's mindset.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, ma'am, indeed. Hashtag adaptable Amy, indeed. That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. And yeah, it's actually kind of interesting you mentioned that the whole 18 years to get back to Nashville in, I guess, metaphorical fighting shape, and in this case, singing shape,
Yes.
to really take a career to the next level, because it actually reminded me to listen to a sermon recently where a preacher mentioned that sometimes it pays off to stay in the wonderful field of favor where God's protecting you for a bit from certain
Yes.
things, and that way, when your time comes and you're ready to rise, you have that foundation ready. Like you said, those
Yes.
18 years of relationships, and heck, even lessons learned, heck, even possibly even more content to sing about, and heck, even a
Yes.
new book
More
as well.
passion in it. And
Yeah,
God's usually saving us from ourselves in those times of waiting, right? That's
yeah,
like I said, I would have screwed it up.
yeah.
And it's just wonderful. So if you get a yes season, you're like, oh, I've had 25 no's and I just got a yes. I should pay attention. Maybe that means I'm ready. And then once I get that mindset, well, then there's no stress in it. I mean, it's even funny as I'm promoting this song and as radio has started to work with me with What If It All Goes Right. And I mean, the song has gone out there globally now. I don't stress over. How can you stress over a song called What If It All Goes Right? How can I worry about outcome with something that's called What If It All Goes Right? You can't. You look like an idiot. So it really lends itself to just kind of keeping me in check every day. Like, it's going to go where it goes. It's going to do what it's going to do. And that's okay because I still have other songs. I still have a wonderful career. I still have a family. I still have the book. I still have my coaching. I still have such great things that I can do. My identity is not attached to these outcomes. My identity is attached to the amazing journey and experiences that got me to the project. And I think that is where it really can help keeping myself empowered and keeping it moving forward in that same direction.
You love to say it. You love to say it, indeed. So, what keeps you energized? Because I'm pretty sure all this takes a lot of creativity and a lot of energy, especially being in sales, no less.
I definitely hydrate. So first of all, water is a key component because you can't do anything if you're dehydrated. But what keeps me motivated is the excitement of what's around the next corner. Like, ooh, I didn't see that coming. I'll show up to a live event or in person meeting something like, wow, I wonder who I'm going to meet today. That mystery or excitement about not knowing what today holds is actually what keeps me going. Like, I'm thrilled about tomorrow. Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? And it doesn't mean it won't be difficult. There's a lot of days that are still difficult, but then I can go, oh, thank goodness I have the tools to deal with difficult too. Wait, I know how to do this. I know what to do. I know how to pull back. I know how to adjust, how to find that mindset. And so what keeps me as excited now is really just, I think, the unknown, the thankfulness for the journey, the compassion to myself for the hardships of the times that I did screw it up, and the self-forgiveness to move on now and say, okay, then I'm ready for what's ahead. And looking at it as a beautiful journey because nobody's life is perfect. Nobody has everything just laid out. Nobody's the overnight success, right? Everything. And there's always a story behind it. Even if somebody's is a little quicker, some of us is a little longer, that there's still a story behind it. And being thankful for my story keeps me motivated.
Oh, yeah. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Keep you motivated, indeed. Especially being a mom of six, too, on top of everything else. Even though they're
No,
all
you
grown
don't.
up now.
Yes, the youngest one is graduating high school this June. And I mean, I'm so proud of her, but she also skipped a grade. So we bumped this up a year. I bought a year. I got a bonus year in there. So like, let's go. This is good. Everybody's doing and they're walking in their life. And it's just really fun and exciting to see everybody in all directions just now walking in their purpose and in their life and being there to catch them or advise them or hold them up or let them fall, whatever that needs to look like. It's a whole different phase in parenting. And I do like it. I really do.
Oh yeah, that's right. Especially when they get to join the business. Because if I'm not mistaken, the oldest is your lead guitarist, right?
Yes, I made him. He joined with like by 17, he was playing guitar for me. And at 18, he was out on tour with me and I worked him. I mean, I did. It was no picnic for him. That was hard work. And he was started off as guitar tech for the other musicians, carrying everybody's stuff, loading the trucks, driving the trucks, handling the brunt work. And he really paid his dues and proved him. It was awesome to see him kind of humbled in that because he's a good guitar player, but he also then was standing there with great guitar players. And so for him to learn, okay, here's where I need to be humble, where I need to learn, I need to take their leading and advice and grow into his own talent was a really fun experience. And we had it wired, especially when we were touring more and doing a lot of shows. When we're performing together, he calls me Amy because the mom came off the table. And we would go right into business mode. And I didn't treat him any different than I did any of the other band members or any of the team members, because there had to be that level of professionalism. And he showed me that respect. And it would be fun afterwards, or we'd be back home to see to see it switch back. And I'd be like, oh, and by the way, did you do so-and-so? And is your room clean? And did you handle something? But then I would go into mom mode and we would change that. So it's funny to see how we were able to kind of flip in and out of that. And even now, I mean, he's almost 31 years old. We still do struggle sometimes to flip in and out of that. If he calls, I want to talk about music, but then wait, we need to know how he is, the mother-son thing versus the working together professionally. But we did it, we've done it, and it's been an interesting journey. It's fun to share a stage with your own son. And we wouldn't tell anybody he was my son till the end of the show because he wanted people to respect his talents and who he was on stage with the rest of the band, no different than anybody else.
Man, to that, that's what I'm talking about indeed. That's what I'm talking about indeed. Got a little pleasant surprises like that for the audiences who have no idea yet. That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. And that way he gets to be his own person, too.
He did. He got to be his own person. And it was fun to watch him grow in that. And again, not without its challenges sometimes, but we navigated through. And I'm excited to see what's ahead, especially with this new music release, the new EP, as the music is getting out there, performances and opportunities that we're going to have, as the world is opening up and maybe we can actually be in front of live humans again would be absolutely amazing. It'll be interesting to dust some of that off and get back at it.
That's right, indeed. And if I'm not mistaken, you also sing jazz as well, right?
I do. There's some fun jazz clubs here in Southern California, especially in the Palm Springs area. It is so great to go out there and get to just, sit in with other outstanding musicians. I love singing the standards. So I'll sing Sinatra. I'll sing, I love seeing the classics and the standards and to be able to showcase my vocal skills because I was trained vocally all those years growing up along with piano and vocal training. So to showcase what my voice can do stepping outside of that country genre, because country music is the music that I grew up on. It was my dad's favorite, is what we listened to together. And if you see here, my last name is Scruggs. And when you have a Scruggs last name, you can't choose another genre. It's like you just can't. So Scruggs, it chose me. I was in the country genre, but as a vocalist, as an artist, it doesn't mean I can't expand outside of that and showcase the maturity of my vocals now at this age and the experience that they have and be able to showcase some of that when it's a fit. And I do have fun when I get asked to do that. And because I still play piano, I can sit at a grand piano and put on a show all myself. So that's pretty fun.
There you go, from banjo to piano.
Yes. From boots to heels.
That's right indeed, with all the glitter. That's right. So my goodness, you also do so many things. I already probably said that's probably going to be the theme of the show. So many things.
What is she doing? What do you do today? I'm exhausted. That's what I hear from people. What? But I'm like, don't ask.
And
It's
still
all
looking
one moving
fabulous while she's
machine.
doing
But
it.
yeah, I definitely still do the media coaching and working with professionals, which I absolutely love. I released the book last year, Lights, Camera, Action, Media Coaching for Professionals in Today's Digital World, because after 5 years of hosting a national TV show, there was a common thread with entrepreneurs, business professionals, nonprofits who sat in the seat with me in every interview. And the first thing they would be like is, oh, I'm nervous in front of the camera. Was that how I look? Is that how I sound? What do I say? I would be so sad when I would see incredible entrepreneurs. Let's say they put their heart, life, soul, and all of their money into this business. And now they're not sure how to share about their business, how to have a concise message to have us understand the greatness of what they've created or what they're there to promote, because maybe they freeze up. They didn't have their talking points really ready to go. And I just think that's tragic, because with a little bit of fine tuning, a little bit of work, a little practice, and some skills to get past that worry about the camera. And I tell people, you take the same face out every day. You talk to humans. You go to the grocery store. It's the same face. It's the same voice. You're just not used to watching it. So working with somebody and getting them comfortable with their own mannerisms, their own face. I always joke about the resting face. I'm sure you've heard about, the resting bee face, right? That the resting face is really a big deal. People may not be aware that their face might be exuding confusion or fear, or, have you ever had somebody say, well, what's wrong? Are you mad at me? And you're like, I'm not mad, but your face said you were. This could be a problem in relationships, right? So having that ability to learn what your face is doing, where it's resting, what it's saying, when you can conquer that, guess what? Now you're thinking about your message. Now you're thinking about what it is I'm here to talk about. And you're able to exude a more natural presence. And people can learn that. It can be learned, and they can do it. Being in front of a camera, public speaking is one of the most common fears of most people. And the fact that I take all of those years, because I've been out touring, because I've been a TV host, because I've been a salesperson, all these things that I do, all these things, what all comes back to one common thread. And what is that? A comfort in my own skin and an ability to communicate. Communicate, whether it's in person or in front of a camera. That's where the common thread is with all businesses that I do. How I'm able to promote music, how I'm able to promote a book, how I'm able to coach, how I'm able to produce in television, host television, be on podcasts, comes down to the effective communication. And realizing that at this stage, I really have a role in helping individuals be comfortable and find that effective communication so that they can grow, they can expand. What if a nonprofit could raise more money because they can effectively communicate? Or maybe not be afraid of being in front of the news channels that want to come and talk to their program. Now you're in front of a bigger audience. Getting past that fear can change everything in your business or in what it is you're promoting. Now, if you're you're not somebody that wants to promote anything, great, that's not for you. But there's a lot of great individuals, sales professionals, entrepreneurs, business professionals, and outreach programs that need to have that skill, that can watch their exposure grow and the ability to put it out there in a much more natural and comfortable way.
Oh, yeah. Yes, indeed. It says something very powerful that a lot of folks don't even think about, is the fact that, hey, it's the same face you take outside every day, the same voice every day. It's
It
like,
is.
hey.
When people will ask me when we play stuff back, oh my gosh, is this what I sound like? Is this what I look like? You know what the answer is? Yes. This is what you sound like, and that is what you look like. And if you don't like it, then let's fix it. Let's change it. Let's upgrade it. Let's polish it. Let's work on it. Sometimes inflection. Some people have a kind of a song-like pattern at how they speak. Some people speak up in their nasal passages or down in their throat, or they're more monotone. We can fix that. We can help you articulate your message, just maybe on how you enunciate. And then when you get comfortable with what you're saying, now you're going to stop forgetting what you look like. It's okay, because 9 times out of 10, most people are worried about what they look like. They don't care what you look like. So let's get to the message. Let's get to what it is you're trying to say, and let's make an impact with what you're trying to say. And let's have it resonate. Sometimes just the way you share something can make an impact. And then you add on the good resting face, you're golden.
There you go. That's right. Golden shiny indeed. That's right indeed. And I believe that's only a piece of what to expect from the wonderful book, Lights, Camera, Action. So how was it writing and publishing that book? Was it a challenge for you? Was it easier than you expected, or how was that
Like
process?
ripping out my molars and stabbing myself in the eyeballs with needles. That was a process because I am very much a high energy spoken person. So to sit still, duct tape myself to a chair, and really put what I was already doing to pen and paper was definitely difficult. That didn't come as natural to me, but I'm so grateful that I did it. And it did take a global pandemic to sit me down and not be able to leave the house to help accomplish that, which I did pretty quick. I'm like, sitting here anyways, I really should take what I'm teaching and put pen to paper. And I look at the outcome now, and I'm so grateful that I got, as we say, out of the comfort zone. And when I'm coaching and teaching, people always say, but it's out of my comfort zone. Well, I believe we just have zones. I'm uncomfortable all the time. I'm not. What's comfortable? Are we really ever comfortable? No, but there's just zones. What zone am I in? So I chose to put myself into that zone of saying, this is what I'm doing now. I need to focus. I need to concentrate. And I need to believe in the outcome. That no matter what, the process of putting pen to paper, even if the book never published, even if nobody ever read it, that process allowed me to be a better coach, because now my thoughts are in order too. Now my system is in order. Now I'm actually interviewing better. So just that process of dissecting even what I wanted to talk about allowed me to be better this way as well. So I'm proud that I did it. I'm thankful. And thankfully, it's also being well received. So, hey, what if it goes right? Just get in the zone. It's never comfortable.
Oh yeah, that's right indeed. So will this book be in audio form?
It is not yet, right? It's where all books are sold. The ebook is everywhere. It's at Barnes and Noble, Amazon, but I have not recorded an audio form of it yet. I would have to get the duct tape back out and do the entire voiceover to put that together for all of you. So I apologize. That's just not happened yet.
Oh, you think it would be a little easier? It's just.
Will you do it for me?
performing.
Would you like to do the audiobook of my book? You want to be my voice?
I mean, shoot, why not?
Let's do it.
Like lights, camera, action. Sorry, Miss Jackson. That's right.
I said sit still. Look in the camera.
That's right, dude. That's right, dude. So my goodness, with all this wonderful success, like what would you say has probably been the biggest setback of your life that actually ended up being your greatest success?
Losing my home in 2011 and having to start completely over again. Relocating, literally no physical possessions, starting over in the middle of all the careers. That I would say is still the biggest fork in the road, where I was really tested to what I could handle. Yeah, that was it. And I see where I'm sitting now, 11 years later. Okay, I get it. It's all good. Sometimes we got to get out of our own way. And sometimes shifts are really big. And sometimes we're just turning a little tugboat around to get where we're supposed to go. And sometimes, the Titanic has to be moved and you're jumping on the life raft. And that's what happened. And I am grateful now. I am grateful. What a blessing the outcome has been.
That's right. That's right indeed. 11 years later, success twice as good. That's right indeed.
Yeah.
That's right indeed. That's right indeed. So since you've been on a boatload of these and you've done them in reverse where you're interviewing other people, is there a question that you wish you'd be asked more often when you're on the guest side of the game on these podcasts?
Oh, a question I wish was asked more often. I think the question I love answering is, what message would I give to young entrepreneurs or young professionals, or I say the next generation, anybody younger than me, basically.
There you go.
What would I tell them if they're stuck or in a hard place? And my words of wisdom are always, don't put yourself in that time trap that you think you have to be something by a certain age. That if it doesn't happen by now, that we have this clock on our lives. There is no clock. There's just our lives. And so when you realize that this could be just this moment in time, getting to the next one, leading to the next one, it takes that pressure off. Forgive yourself. Push forward. Don't give up. So many people quit right before the finish line, not knowing that that success or that thing that they wanted or hoped for was right around the corner. Don't do that. I would much rather live with failure than regret. And that's what I try to pass on to anybody who asks me on what came from my journey or what I would advise. And that's really it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Indeed. Preach it, y'all. That's right. Preach it, Pastor Amy. That's what I'm talking about. That's right. Indeed. That's right. Don't have to be on 40 under 40, top 40 under 40.
No.
It's a great
Who
title, but
wrote
don't have
that?
to
That
get
needs
it.
to just trash it. I wouldn't have wanted to have been top 40 under 40. I would have screwed it up. And at 45 and going, oh, great. Now what? Right? I'm thankful. I'm thankful. I much more appreciate the things that I am able to do now. Every client is a blessing. Every phone call that comes in where I can help lead somebody to a resource that they need. I love that I've got this network of resources from all these years in all these industries. Oh, you need a web designer? I got a guy. Okay, you need somebody to help coach you on this? Oh, I got that. Hold on, you need a resource for that? You need some counsel in this? I've got somebody for you. To know that I can be a resource center, that I can be a hub for people, took those years of meeting the right people that I can have a network and a resource. You don't have that when you're younger. You just don't. And I appreciate and embrace the late 40s. I do.
Oh yeah, that's right. Especially since 40s are still young, because
totally. Well, and I'm a, the stereotype, especially I'm a 49-year-old woman, and it's like, oh, okay, everybody wants the younger woman. Like, no way. It's taken me this long to finally be taken seriously, and I'm young enough to still take action. Why would I trade that?
That's right. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. It's so darn true. Yeah. We just definitely did. I wonder if it's just a Western thing with all that, with the whole age thing. It's like all 40, they're ancient, like lies.
Lies. I didn't know anything at 40.
Exactly. And if you're dyslexic,
I was digging out
40,
of the rubble at 40. What just happened? All right, bring over the Legos. I'll rebuild. It's fine.
Be sure to wear boots.
Exactly.
That's right indeed. That's right indeed. Be sure to wear boots. Don't be barefoot with the Legos. Don't do it. Protect your sanity and your feet. But yes, indeed. So a fun question we're loving to drop on guests recently, and that is, if your wonderful book, Lights, Camera, Action, was a food, what would it be and why?
No, good Lord. I just think it's soup. Not everybody realizes they love soup or want soup, but then when you have it, you go, oh, that's a good flavor, and it's probably better for me than this big steak. And I will probably feel better after I have the soup. I think that's what it is.
Well, there you have it, folks. That's right indeed. So if you need stronger media presence, stronger communication, know the right lighting to get or why you need to have the proper lighting, Amy's got you covered like a blanket with chicken noodle soup known as Lights, Camera, Action, y'all. That's right. That's right indeed. And she's a mom, so it's mom's chicken noodle soup, y'all. That's right. That's right indeed. That's right. Homemade. That means it's good for you in more ways than one. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. So we're coming down to the magical question that every guest gets to receive, and that is, if you're to wake up tomorrow and you're 25 again, but you're in the current year of 2022 with all of your knowledge and experience, what advice would you give to yourself?
After I was done kicking my own booty across the room, after I finished a little bit of beatdown, what would I say? I would say, relax. Enjoy the moments. I would tell myself, don't put time limits on everything. Take a deep breath. Walk the process. Just walk the process. It'll be okay.
There you go. That's right. It'll be okay. That's right, folks. That's right indeed. Just think about what if it all goes right indeed. That's
yes.
Right indeed. Yeah, that's right. The song A, what if it goes left? That's a wholly different thing. Don't worry.
What
it's
if
a directional
I fall
reference.
And I can't get up? Yeah, that's not.
Yes, indeed. But for those of you to fall in love with all your wonderful wares and your music and keep up with all the stuff that you're doing now and in the future, what's the best way for folks to do so?
Just Google Amy Scruggs, Scruggs, amyscruggsmedia.com and amyscruggsmusic.com. But both websites have an arrow that points to the other one. You can't miss it. Just Google Amy Scruggs. You'll find me. The song is on all streaming platforms. There's multiple songs out there with this EP already on YouTube and on your favorite streaming platforms. You can find the music. Just Google Amy Scruggs and you will find me.
Well, there you have it, folks. There you have it today. Check it out in the show notes. Look up Amy Scruggs. That's right, no matter which platform you use. Amazon Music, that's always a good one. Who cares? It's all good indeed. Download it 50,000 times. Share with a camel. Put a Bluetooth speaker on a camel hump and play the song. Indeed. That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. And someone might wander in the desert and be like, you know what? I found my oasis. That's not a mirage. It's an Amy Scruggs song. That's right, indeed. That's right.
Get up.
That's a day. So any parting words before we close up shop, Amy?
Now, I hope that I inspired somebody today to just maybe step out of the comfort zone, take the word comfort zone out of their vocabulary, embrace life. Don't put a time limit on it. And I'm so grateful that you have a platform like this for professionals to come on and share their story, that there's places where people can come to and have hope and inspiration and hear other stories so that they can maybe choose a different path or maybe find the direction that they're supposed to go. So thank you so much for what you're doing, because you're being a voice. You're a positive influence out there in the market, and we need great leaders like you. So thank you for doing this.
Thanks a bunch for sharing some of your time out of your day to listen to the Going North podcast. I would be really honored if you head over to the website goingnorthpodcast.com and share this episode with someone that you care about. And also, for bonus points, if you like, click on the shop tab on the website and grab some gear, advance others to advance yourself if you haven't already. Have a great rest of your day and keep advancing north to your greatness.